Okay, I haven't done a do-it-yourself video in a while, so this is going to be a Serpentine belt replacement for a 2017 Golf Alltrack 1.8 turbo. So it's going to be the same as the Golf Jetta. It's probably pretty similar to the 2.0 turbo in the GTI, but I don't know. It could be different. You need two tools, and I lost them. You need a 16 millimeter wrench. I use a offset. It's got the 17 on the other end. It just fits down in here really good, and it gives me, like, something more to get more leverage on. And a hex key or some type of pin. I don't know what size this is, so it fits inside this on the engine mount, and that's about the same size that hole is. That hole's a little tighter down there. There is a provision on this tensioner, which I can kind of get this light down in here. Right, there's a little hook. There's a little hook right here. You're going to put that 16 millimeter on this bolt, and you're going to basically tighten that bolt. It's going to make this tensioner kick up. This will rotate down, and then there's a hole. You'll feel that this will stop. This will not rotate or pivot anymore. So it's going to stop in a position. You're going to have to hold it there with the wrench, reach down, put the pin in, use that little hook as a guide, and that pin will rest right in place. I'm gonna put that in there just like that. So put this on. I'm gonna try not to get in the view of the camera. Okay, so here you can see the tensioner. It is that little tiny pulley in between the AC compressor pulley and the crank pulley. It has a 16 millimeter bolt head on it, and what you're going to do is you're going to put a wrench on that, which I use a offset 16, 17 sided wrench, and I'm going to go from up top, and we'll start actually taking the belt off from the top. But you're going to put that wrench on there, and you're going to move that wrench towards the front of the car, towards the headlight, towards the rad. So basically, like, you're in the process of tightening that bolt. That's how that moves, and that will kick that tensioner to the left. And then we gotta look for a weird little thing that we can put a pin in. I believe there's a spot to put a pin, which I think it is. There's a little hook that's not visible. So I think once this swings down, I could be able to put like a hex key or a small screwdriver. Probably just do a hex key or a nail or something just to hold that whenever we go to put that belt on. But just to take the belt off, you're just going to put the wrench on it and basically take it off from up top. Okay, I think I have the camera position good enough to get this on camera. So I can move this wrench. And I'm not to the point where that hole is visible. Reach down, be ready. I'm going to be ready to put this in here. So that's, I need to adjust this more. Come on. Okay, I thought I had to adjust it, and that's basically it. Now you can reach down, remove the belt, and then put the belt back on. So I'm going to take the belt off, tensioner first, and kind of just reach down through, knock my light over, wiggle it off the crank, and pull the belt out. So very simple. Definitely not hard to do. You could do this in a parking lot, side of the road, whatever. Put the new belt back on. I'm just going to set it on the, so you kind of see my belt's brand new. That's how they come. They come folded up like this. I'm going to use that to my advantage. The belt actually sits on the engine kind of like the way it unfolds. So I'm going to put this end on the crank first. And I'm just going to hook it on the crank. Hook it on the AC compressor. And then loop it up onto the alternator. I'm going to have to block the view real quick. Okay, it's on the crank. It's on the AC compressor. Make sure you're on the correct ribs. Loop it onto the alternator, and it already wants to. I'm kind of just moving this. So your crank will stay stationary, but your AC compressor and your alternator will move, as well as that tensioner. And I reach down, and I just flop it onto that tensioner. Again, double check to make sure you're on the teeth, grooves, whatever they're called, and you don't want this belt touching this the face of the backing of the tensioner. Take your 16 millimeter, put it back on, push it, take tension off, reach down, pull the pin, let go, remove it, start the car, you're good to go. It takes less than a minute to do this.